So z sub 2 was the same thing. It was a little, maybe you could say harder, because it wasn't, the ratio for tan was not on your unit circle. It wasn't some kind of 1 root 3 or root 3 over 3. So when you see that, you can still find theta, you just have to use your calculator. And I always put my mode in degrees. So again, we have to find r and theta. And to find r, we first plot that dot. So to the right 1, down -3, and oops, to the right 1 is +1. So once we do that, we use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we have 1 plus 9 is 10. We take the square root of that, so r is square root of 10. Okay, now for theta, the harder part. Remember theta, we're going to do tan of theta is sine over cos, right? So the left side thinks c comes before s is cos, right side is sine. So that's why we did -3 over 1, which gets us -3. Remember, -3 is not one of those tan values on the unit circle. It's not a form of positive root 3, negative root 3, 1, -1, or root 3 over 3, or negative root 3 over 3. That's why we need to use our calculator. So I put theta is tan to the negative first of -3 in my calculator. I got -71.5. Now remember, your answer cannot be negative. It's got to be between 0 and 360 degrees. You need to be careful when you're trying to figure out what the value is in a certain quadrant. It's a little harder when it's in quadrant 2, 3, or 4. You got to put your thinking cap on. So we know if it's in quadrant 4, the value's got to be between 270 and 360 degrees, right? This is 270, this is 360, and the dot is in between. So obviously it can't be negative number 1, so it can't be negative 71.5. It can't be positive 71.5. That's not between 270 and 360. There's a few ways to go about finding this. If we know that negative 71.5 is right there, because we're swinging down 71.5, we can subtract, say, 71.5 from 360, which would get us 288.5, which is between 270 and 360, so that is our theta. And again, once we find theta, which is the hardest part, you plug in your r and your theta. And in trig form, remember, you want to see cos and you want to see sine. So this is our value.